Hello, my name is Sonia, and this is video number 16, and we're going to continue by learning more techniques in working in the round. And today we're going to learn how to work in a chain while working in the round, and we're going to do that in single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and triple crochet. So here's my card again for working in the round, and again, if you'd see this in a pattern, you see RND or RNDS, you would know that that stands for round or rounds. And again, when working in the round, you use slip stitching a lot. So we're going to be doing that some more. And so the abbreviation for slip stitch is SLST, which stands for slip stitch. So to get started, we're going to work single crochet around a chain, or not around a chain, in the chain. So we're using an H hook or a 5mm. You can certainly use a G, or you can use an I hook. It's completely up to you. I have my worsted weight yarn in a light color, and we are going to work a chain of 8. So I got my slip stitch on there, and we're going to chain 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 chains. And we need to join this chain to make a circle. So we're going to insert our hook into the first chain we made, yarn over, and we're going to make our slip stitch to join it. Just tighten that guy up a little bit on the end. You can tighten it a little bit by just pulling on it gently. So now we're going to work in the chain, and we're going to work 2 single crochet in each chain. So all you do is, just like if you were working in a row, you're going to insert your hook right in the chain. We're going to chain 1 first and insert our hook right in that chain. And that's where it's important to read your patterns too, because there are different techniques in working in the round. So some patterns, if they don't state a technique, then you can work, it's usually easier to work around a chain, but some might specifically say, yes, you need to work in the chain. So it's important to read carefully. So there's 1, we're going to work 2 stitches in there because we want this to lay flatter there. And I'm going to use my stitch marker again to mark my first stitch so I know that that is indeed stitch number 1. So I'm using my scrap yarn, my favorite stitch marker, nice and lightweight, cheap, and that's my first stitch that's marked. And again, some patterns do tell you to use stitch markers, so you want to pay attention to that as well. Sometimes I just do it for my own sanity with, certain stitches. It's hard to keep track of, so I just use stitch markers just to help me out. So we've made 4. We're going to keep working 2 in each chain, because if we just worked 1, it would start to cup, and I don't want it to do that. We want it to be more flat. So it's just pretty much like working in a row, except we're working in the round, we're working in a circle. So it's pretty simple. If you know how to work in a chain, you can work in a chain in the round with no problem. It looks like we got 2 more left. Got 1 more. Alright, so we need to join this circle. So we know that this is our first stitch. Pull that guy out, and we're going to join it by working our slip stitch. And we have completed 1 round of working in single crochet in a chain. So it gives a nice little decorative look too. You can see that there. But it's a pretty simple technique. Now I'm not going to make a second round. If you wanted to make a second round, it's just like how you would normally work. You would chain 1, you'd work single crochet in the stitch. If you'd want to mark your last stitch, you can, or mark your first stitch to help you keep track of your stitches. But we went over those techniques in the other videos, so it's, you know, not going to go over it again. So now we're going to work double crochet around a chain. So again, you can see this yarn unravels nice and easily for practice. Now if you wanted to keep that swatch, you could certainly snip that and keep that as a reference. It's up to you. I don't want to have a whole bunch of swatches laying around, so I'm a reuse, repurpose kind of gal, so I'm just going to keep reusing this yarn. Alright, so we're making our slips. Okay, that slip knot did not pan out there. There we go. Now we're ready to go. So now we're going to work double crochet in the chain, and it's the same principle as single. I'm going to chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to join in the first chain with a slip stitch. Pull through, no extra yarn overs with that stitch. So we're going to chain 3 to get started. And we're going to work right back in that stitch, because we want this to lay flat. So we'll work 2 in each chain. So it's just like working in a row in a chain. It's the same principle. And again, you know, some patterns when you're working in the round, they won't tell you to work in the chain, so you just do it however you want to. But some are specific and there's reasons for that, so you just want to pay attention to that. But if they don't say work in the chain or work around the chain, just do whatever is easier for you or you like better. Usually for myself, if the pattern doesn't state how to work in the chain or how they want you to start in the round, I usually just work around the chain because I just find that to be easier. Then I don't have to fiddle by finding my chain. I can just work around it and just away I go. So we are working 2 stitches in each chain because we want this to lay more flat. And we're almost to the end. And then when we get to the last chain, you're going to join the top of your first chain 3 to complete your round. Alright. And as you can see, there is a hole here. So I'm sure you're wondering about making projects without a hole. And we will get there in future videos. But again, there are some projects that, you know, they want a hole. Like this could be the start of a nice pretty pot holder, and you know the hole is purely decorative, and that's just the vision of the designer. So so that could be a reason why. Or if you're making a doily or a tablecloth or whatever, or even a granny square, and they want, you know, the designer happens to like that. So that is working double crochet in the chain. So again, we're going to undo that guy. We'll do half double crochet and triple crochet. And again, the patterns might call for working some of the same stitches, or like they might want you to work single crochet, half double crochet in the chain as well. They might mix it up for you. So again, we're going to chain 8, but I'm just, I want you to learn. So we're starting with just the same stitches working around. We're chaining 8, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just want you to get these basics down so that you're be able to make just about anything you want. So we're going to join in our first chain with a slip stitch to make our circle. So there we go. And we're to start our half double crochet in the chain. Chain 2. And we're going to work 2 in each chain. There we go. And you just keep working 2 half double crochet in each chain, just like if you were working in a row. It's the same technique, just going in a circle. And we're increasing because we want it again to lay flatter. And this is good practice with the basic stitches. It will help you with your tension, help your stitches to look more even. Because I know it might be a little bit boring just doing, you know, this isn't too exciting, but this is laying a good foundation so that if you want to make that pretty sweater or that fun stuffed animal or pretty, you know, beautiful baby blanket, you'll be able to do it. And your finished product will look really nice because you took the time to establish a good foundation by learning these basics. And this is how I learned, actually. I've been crocheting for over 20 years, and I found a great little book, and this is how they taught me. They taught me about the tools first. They taught me, you know, the slip knot, the chain, and so I'm basically showing you how I was taught, and it really helped me because I can make lots of different things now. Alright, so now we've worked half double crochet in the chain, so as you can see, we worked in the chain, and now we're going to work half double or triple crochet in the chain. So we have practiced with all the basic stitches in the chain. So took apart our work, and again, if you want to keep that swatch, you certainly can. I'm choosing not to, so we're going to chain 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to join to make a circle. So by the end of this video, you're going to be a pro at joining, making your nice little circles with your slip stitch. So we're going to chain 4 to get started for triple crochet. And we need to work right in the same stitch there. We want this guy to lay more flat. So we have to remember to yarn over twice when we're doing triple crochet. It's easy to forget, and then you're just making a double crochet. So we'll work 2 in each, so this is good practice with increasing as well. Just keep going around, just like if you were working in a row, but now we're working in the round. And again, sometimes when you're working in the round, some patterns will tell you to turn. A lot of patterns when you're working in the round you don't turn, but sometimes you do. So it's just good to, you know, pay attention to what you're reading. Don't phone it in. Because there's nothing worse than getting to the end and you're like, okay, this is completely wrong. Then you need to decide, do I want to take it all apart to start over or just leave it as is? I mean, sometimes a mistake is a happy mistake and it looks really nice, but then sometimes it just doesn't. Because I've done that with projects where I didn't quite make it like the designer had intended, but it still looked really nice anyway, so I just left it. And then other times I've messed up and I'm like, well, this looks really horrible, so then I took it apart because I am a bit of a perfectionist. I like my projects to look really nice, so especially if it's going to be a gift. Alright, so we're going to be in our last chain there in triple crochet, working in a chain. And then we will join with our slip stitch, and you're getting good practice with slip stitching right on the top there. Insert your hook, yarn over, and you pull through. And you pull through. And as you can see, because this is a taller stitch, it's starting to cup. So that's what I mean about cupping. So if you were making something, let's say a hat, and you wanted it to do that so that you'd be on the right track. So that is working triple crochet in a chain, and if you wanted to, make more rounds, you certainly can. You can chain 4 and just keep on going as however many as you want. So that is how you work in the round in a chain in single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and triple crochet. Thank you so much for watching.